Here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and I am so happy that you are joining me on today. I'm glad that you are watching, listening, sharing, liking, and doing life with me. And I am so happy to be doing life with you because we know that when we're out here in these streets, living in this world, that things do get messy when we are leading our own lives. And that is not a bad thing, right? So we think that messiness is a bad thing. I definitely thought it was in certain terms, right? Like you can't be living in a messy car, like, right? Like you're living in your car and it's messy. Right, just those type of things are like leaving dishes in the sink for 4, 5, 6 days. Like, that's just straight up nasty. I don't even think that's messy. But anyway, but so I'm talking about where things get uncomfortable, when things come your way and you're just a little bit unsure, or you made some decisions and you're like, oh gee, I shouldn't have made that decision, or you didn't listen to wise counseling. That's the kind of messiness I'm talking about, right? But the good thing about it is that every day that you are able to see a new day is a time and an opportunity to go again, right? To, make it right, or, try it another way. Whatever the case may be, it's just a new day and new opportunities. So we cannot wallow or woe it's me in the mistakes that we have made, decisions that we made. But good thing is that you made a decision, right? And so you learn from those decisions, you learn from those mistakes, and you go again. You keep trying. You just don't stay right there. Staying right there to me is being defeated, right? It prevents the purpose of actually learning and growing, because that's what it's about, right? As we're leading our lives, is to learn and to grow, not to stay in the same place, not to stay in the same mindset. I believe that I talked before about how, like, a place where you actually grew up and people just never left those particular areas or whatever. And so an individual that does leave, then they come back, and what happens? You're like, did I used to think like that? Did I used to do things like that? That makes no sense now, right? Because you've experienced some things, you've left out of that, environment, right? And then now you're coming back into it, but nothing has changed since you left those environments. And so I know that it's happened to a lot of us. But that's the purpose of, again, growing and learning, right? So if you stay in the same area, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think you just have to do just a little bit more exploring, a little bit more travel, right? To actually get a new perspective on life. Because I do not care if you stay in one place and do not move, your perspective will not change. I do not care who you are. Your perspective will not change. It's just that simple. Okay, I don't even know where we're there, because I was just about to say, like, I don't even know what we're talking about today, but apparently we could be talking about that. I don't know. So, but anyway, but again, thank you so much for being with us today. In this time frame, right? I think something we're in this month, right, where they're like, oh, it's love, and Valentine's Day, and all these type of things, right, are happening, and people are running out and getting gifts and getting flowers, and buying big bears that are like half your size. And what, I don't know what in the world you're going to do with that big old bear. I don't know if you're going to be cuddling up with that bear when eventually you're alone. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with a bear that big. Also, getting finding the right cards and what they say, and getting candy and making dates and arrangements, and it's just a hot mess. It's just a hot mess. It's just too much. But kudos to you if you're running out doing those things. That's what you want to do. I told Murdoch, look, we really don't celebrate Valentine's Day. And because, again, because all the commercialization around it and whatnot, but because love to me should be expressed every single day. And if you want to take one day out of the year and make it all about love, then I don't know what you're doing for the other 364 days, right? Like, I think love is, I put this on my social media and, not a lot of replies, but I was asking people to write, 2 words or less. 2 words or less. Love is. What is love? What is love to you? What does it mean to you? How do you determine that you are being loved, right? And it's not just from a significant other, whether, spouse or, boo thing, bae thing, but even just in our relationships with our, family members, our siblings, our parents, girlfriend, guy friends, co-workers, right? Like, I believe that you are to be showing love at all times to all people. It is not just, and I'm not talking about that philo love, right? Like that, that family love. I'm talking about this unconditional love that we should have for one another. Meaning that my heart is literally for you in a good way. My heart is for you in a good way. My actions and my words are lining up. I am not saying one thing and then I'm doing something else. That's like, watch a person's actions, right? They're truly going to tell you who they are by their actions, right? Like, you can tell me something all day long. It's almost like, you hear the stories, or maybe you've even experienced this yourself, that you are waiting, your parent told you that they're going to come get you, for the weekend, or your parent told you that you're going to go somewhere, and you're super excited about it, you're anticipating it, you can't wait for it. The weekend comes and the person does not show up, or your parent all of a sudden seem to have gotten amnesia, and they just don't react or respond, or even mention where they said that they were going to take you, right? Like, there's just no response to it. And you're like, well, hold up a second. Like, they said we were going to do something, so why are we not doing something? And you're just waiting, right? Or like, if you're waiting for your parent to come pick you up and then they just never show up, and you're just so disappointed and you're heartbroken, right? And this happens over time, to the point where, true resentment comes into place. And then what are you thinking? At this point, you're thinking, I can't trust them. I can't believe what they're saying. And it's like, yeah, okay, I believe it when I see it, right? Like, that's the way we feel about some people, right? Because they have shown us over and over again that their words have no weight to them. Like, if you're not doing it, then there's just no weight to it, right? Like, I would tell, Murdoch, like, yeah, I don't believe them. And he'd be like, what do you, I just don't believe them. Like, I would have to explain to him, remember when, and remember when, and remember when. Yeah, so that's enough for me. That's enough for me. So I can't depend on you in that way, to the point where I'm probably not even going to ask you, right? Like, because there's just no purpose, because I can't depend on you in that way. So I just think that, we have to look at one another, and then also have the conversation too. Like, why do you keep saying you're going to do something, you don't do it, right? Like, don't say that you're going to bring a dessert, to the gathering, and then you show up with plastic forks. Like, we were expecting for you to bring those desserts, and now there's no desserts here, but you bring plastic forks. Or, you said that you're going to bring something, and then the event starts at a certain time, and everybody's supposed to have their dish there the day prior, whatever, earlier, and you show up 2 hours after the event, and then what you bring is literally like for 2 people. Stop playing, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm only bringing this up because I have experienced this, right? So this is like real things. So I'm just saying, stop saying you're going to do something and you're not going to do it, or you can't do it. Just be honest and say, yeah, I can't do that. I would like to be a part, but I can't do that. Or I will not be able to do that at this time. Just that simple. I can't come pick you up. I can't take you, to the airport. I can't support your engagement. Just say that. Other than saying, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this, whatever, right? So when I'm talking about love, it is not this one time act of buying some flowers. It is not a one-time act of, going to go get massage, or going to go, to the dinners or to the movies or whatever the case may be. Can we not do that throughout our lifetime together, right? Does it have to be this one day where I just go get this big bouquet of flowers and it's like, oh my gosh, and I got it delivered to your job, and woo woo woo, right? So can you deliver flowers, on a random Monday? I mean, I don't know. Can you? Can you bring flowers? And not them flowers like, that they be selling inside the street that the bouquet don't really make sense. Okay, I'm not. Yes, I am coming for that. I am judging. So there goes, right? So I'm just saying. Have some. If that's all you can afford, by all means, do what you got to do. But I just say if you can buy a meal at Popeyes and you can buy some nice flowers. I'm just saying, because a Popeye meal, and Murdoch. Murdoch was like, a 2-piece is $30 now at Popeyes. I'm like, what, really? Is it? I know he's exaggerating, right? However, that being said, he was like, I'm just gonna wait till I go home, and then I'm gonna go to Church's Chicken, and I'm gonna be able to get 2-piece, a biscuit, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, what did he say? Some rice, some green beans, all for 70. Oh, and a drink, all for 75 cents. And I said, oh wow. Yeah, no one should be going hungry then. Back where you're from. 75 cents. No one should be going hungry. Anyway, so, and you should be showing some love to people that might not have that 75 cents to get them that 2-piece dinner from Church's Chicken. Just saying. So anyway, but we want to be able to express true love, right, towards one another in what we're doing, right? So I believe, love is definitely patient, right? We have to be patient with one another. I think when you talk about, I'm going to work on my patience, right? And so then everything that's coming at you is dealing with you in regards to your patience, right? Or I want to learn how to be more gentle, and soft, spoken or whatever. And then everything, so again, we're being mindful of our words. So I really want to learn this lesson, right? Which we should, right? But just make sure that don't be surprised when you're given test after test to help you build that muscle up, okay? So just know that. And the number one thing is, I truly believe too that if you do not know how to love yourself first, you will not be able to give love to others. You might believe that you are, but the truth is that what you believe, the value in your worth towards yourself is what you will do out of um, you'll do it not really out of love, but you're doing it for a response. You're doing it to see, what you can get in return, or you feel like you must buy this relationship, whatever that it may be. And by doing things, right? Like, I'm not just talking about tangible things, but just doing things in general, like always showing up for people, always, whatever, and you're not even showing up for yourself. Oh, come on now. Come on now. You're always showing up for other people, but you're not showing up for yourself. So are you really doing this out of the act of love? You're doing it out of act of obligation. You're doing it for acceptance. You're doing what is the root cause really of why you're not showing up for yourself, but you're willing to show up for other people? Because if I can't show up for myself, right, that same thing that I'm hoping and requiring is not gonna reciprocate itself back to me. Right? It's not going to. So what I'm saying is that you can still put people first, and still love on people and still be there for people, but you also need to think about yourself, really. Is that good for me? Is that healthy for me? Is that something that I truly believe in and want to support and honor, in reference to that person? Because I can honor you, right, in different ways or whatnot. Because why would I come and support something or show up to something and I don't really, believe in it, or I don't have the right attitude? That's it. Because I might not have to believe in it, but I might not have the right attitude towards it. And so I'm not really bringing value in that situation. Really, I'm devaluing the situation, because now I'm coming in with a negative attitude. And when you have a negative attitude, everybody can smell you. I don't know why we think that nobody can smell us when we got a negative attitude. You stink. We be stinking, right? And you don't be having your deodorant on with your negative attitude. Everybody, you're not hiding it. You're not hiding it. So, I mean, I'm just saying. But you have to love yourself first, right? And if you don't know how to do that, I just encourage you to learn how to love yourself. I had to learn how to love myself. I did not truly know how to love myself. So I really didn't understand really what love was. But I was in relationships, but I didn't understand what love was. Right? I didn't, like, in all relationships, right? Didn't understand what love was. And then there was damage, and then there had to be damage control, whatever the case may be. But I understand what love is now. I love myself. I don't want to do harm to myself, right? And so I know those things of, like, love is patient and love is kind. Love, is pure. It's gentle, right? It's just this sweetness, right? And so when you're experiencing all of that, right, then my words and my actions will line up. Oh, I love myself, right? That's why I brush my teeth and I floss every day, because I love myself, right? I love myself, where I'm watching what I'm eating, right? And I want to make sure, that I'm moving and I'm my blood is circulating properly or whatever. And so I'm exercising, right? So, because I love myself. And I want to make sure that I'm the best version of myself for me and for other people and for my loved ones. I do not want to put more on them than that's not necessary. The things that I have placed on myself, versus, some, incident or accident that happens right out of my control. But the things that I have a choice in, what is the choices that I'm making, right? To make sure that I stay in a place where I am taking care of myself, right? And I think when you're taking care of yourself, you're actually showing love towards yourself, right? So then you'll be mindful for other people. Hey, you probably want to, go get yourself a massage, a manicure, right? Hey, let's go and, go get a nice salad, or let's go get some things and make a nice salad at home. And, and hey, I know you've been working hard or whatever. Come on, let's just just go for a walk, right? Like you still can do these things with your friends, with your colleagues, right? You're at the office and you're like, oh yeah, I know a nice walk sometimes helps me clear my head. Hey, come on, let's go for a walk, whatever, around the floor. Let's go outside or whatever to take a moment, a breather away from, right, the ruckus and the mundane things of what's happening in this office. Showing acts of kindness and also being considerate of other people, right? That's something that we truly need to think about. Love is not just for, a significant other, but love is for all people. Am I truly showing this unconditional love? Am I willing to forgive, right? I can forgive you, but I'm forgiving you and I'm being mindful that I'm not putting myself back into a harmful situation, right? Depending on what the situation was, right? And we can move on into a healthy place. And sometimes you can't move on in restoring that relationship, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that you're leaving the relationship to the point where, okay, you've said your piece, I've said my piece, we're moving on from this. We forgive one another. I wish you well. I wish you well or whatever, but we can no longer, be intimate in that way. So, because intimacy, I'm allowing you to see into me, right? So I'm allowing you to be a part of this intimate, again, part of my life, right? And so sometimes, we allow people to really see into us, and sometimes it can't be handled, or sometimes it's taken advantage of, right? And so we have to make a decision, right, whether we're still going to be intimate with people. But that doesn't mean that we cannot love them without that, being in that part of my space anymore, right? That doesn't mean that, we don't have to, ace boom coon, kumbaya, every week, every day. We just don't have to do that, right? For me to love you. And so I just think that we need to all of us need to rethink about how we think about love. And what does that look like? And are we having expectations of people that are unrealistic, right? That are just kind of like, so you want me to do that, and then that's showing love towards you, like that's your belief. And someone could really be showing love for you, but because you're unhealthy, you don't really know what that true love looks like, right? Because if someone is degrading you, if they're degrading you, they're slandering your name, you're not there, at a lot of times when they're asking you to show up. I'm not saying every waking single second, right? I'm just saying for some really significant things, right? That person or people don't show up for you. They're not encouraging to you. They're not honest with you. They don't speak to you in kindness and gentleness and truthfulness, right, at the same time. If they're laying their hands on you in a hurtful manner, right? If they are, speaking negativity over you and there's nothing you can do right or wrong or whatever, or you're always the tail end of their jokes, where it's actually degrading, things of that nature, calling you out of your name, taking advantage of you. They only want you around when they need something. They only call you when they need something. Like that person, those people that do those things, they do not love you, and they do not have the best intentions for you. And I will say, I don't care who the person is. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your pastor, your best friend, your boo, your babe, your husband, your wife, the person, father, mother of your children. I don't care who it is. You need to run, and you need to run fast. Okay? You need to run, and you need to run fast, and you need to get out of that relationship because it is unhealthy. We think because they are our parents that they can treat us any kind of way, and that is not so. Yes, we must honor our parents. But me honoring you does not mean that I'm allowing you to treat me without any value and without any respect and without any honor. See, respect is earned. It is not required, but it's earned. And so that does not mean that it's okay for you to call me out of my name and abuse me. Even for those that are in authority, right? If your manager, I'm sorry, your manager, your pastor, or whatever, they do not have the right to treat you any kind of way. You are not there to be their doormat, whatever that it may be. Oh, because you didn't show up, or oh, because you didn't do this for them, or oh, because you didn't stay late, does not mean that I am not supporting you and I'm not there for you, right? Like that's not that. No, you're being used. It's just that simple. And then you can't call me unless you want something. That means that our relationship is transactional, right? And so it's not a true relationship. But there's nothing wrong with transactional relationships. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is wrong with the relationship if the relationship is damaging, right? Like they're making you feel like, there's guilt there, there's shame there, or they remind you of something that they know about you, right? And they keep throwing it up in your face. Why? It's unhealthy. So then you can't really grow, right? And come out of that. They're keeping you in a place, right, where they want to keep you, right, so they can manipulate and control the situation. You should never be in a relationship where one person is dominating and controlling the relationship. So see, I know, some of y'all scrunching up your toes and rolling your eyes, and you probably even stop listening. But the truth is the truth, right? And again, yeah. So I can't imagine that, my name, right? And I'm talking about someone calling you out of your name in a derogatory way, right? To the point where, you just, I'm never going to be nothing. I'm never going to be, you start believing it, right? You go into depression. Or you even know, right, that you're in a situation where the person is not really, valuing you and loving you the way that you should be. And you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to stay in this situation because I'm benefiting from it some way. But are you? Are you benefiting it from some way? I'm curious, right? Because I know some people, right, that they've shared with me that, they've stayed in certain relationships or connected to certain people because certain benefits. But are you really benefiting from that? Is your soul really benefiting from that? I would disagree, right? Because you are allowing certain things to come into your space, right? Where it's dealing with your mental and your emotional welfare and your mental health. So I don't know if it's really benefiting you like you think it is, right? Like, if I stay connected to this individual or individuals or organization, then this is how I'm benefiting from that or whatever. Yes, you may. You're okay, I'm not going to say may. When you disconnect from people, right, that you've been in a relationship with, you are going to lose some things. You're going to lose some things. But it's okay. It is okay to lose things, because when you open up your hands and you allow things to go, guess what? Other things can come in. But if we don't allow things to go, then nothing else can come in. If I was like this the whole time, holding on to things that do not hold value, that do not, cast light right on me other than darkness, because you want to manipulate me and control me, that is not love. And how can true love be manifested in my life if I'm holding on to those things that do not truly value me? But if I open up my hands, then I can let that go, and then I can really begin to see, right, what true love actually is. So I just encourage you, right, to just really take some time and look at all of your relationships. All of them. Every last single one of them. Because everything we do in life comes through a relationship. Where you get to in life comes through relationship. I'm telling you, you might like, no one does it. No, yes it does. Yes it does. Because you and your boss is a relationship. You and your coworker is a relationship. You and your neighbor is a relationship. You and your children's teacher is a relationship. They're all relationships. Yes, there are different types of relationships, but they're all relationships. So where you are going in life, where you want to be in life, where you aspire to be in life, is all based upon your relationships. And so I encourage you to evaluate all of your relationships. And if any of them are unhealthy, and you, just based off of what I said, because there's more to be unpacked here, and any of those things, right, are there in those relationships and manifest in those relationships, then it's time to go. It's time to go. And like I said, you need to run as far as you can. And I know it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. But call upon your community, right? Call upon, who you can for that support. And if you're just not sure how to do it, there's other ways to do it too. But I do want to put this plug in there though. So I am a coach and a consultant. I specialize in behavior coaching, as well as neuro-linguistic programming, executive coaching, right? And so I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You can reach me at www.4mosaic.com. We can, talk about what are your goals, right? What is some things that you want to accomplish that you just haven't been able to do? And so I can help you with that and to be successful in meeting those things. So again, you can reach me at www.4mosaic.com. Hit me up there. And hey, I wish you all the best. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And leading is teachable. Take care.